This is the Archems.ai Daily Digest. Artificial Intelligence, Law and Technology in 5 minutes. The shift from AI as a chatbot to AI as an autonomous agent is creating a massive friction point in the enterprise. We are seeing a widening gap between the capabilities we deploy and the infrastructure we use to contain them. Most companies are now running agents in production, but a recent survey of over 100 enterprises reveals a dangerous containment gap. While most firms enforce permissions at runtime, only 18% actually isolate their highest-risk agents in sandboxes. This means if a control fails, the blast radius is huge. It is a similar story for coding agents. Researchers at Peking University found that these models almost always ignore open-source contribution guidelines. They just do not proactively seek out the rules. ScanAI is trying to solve this by observing actual employee work through screen-level telemetry. They argue that system logs only capture the final committed state. The real intelligence is hidden in the messy human work that happens between those logs. This operational chaos exists because the underlying models are evolving in unpredictable ways. OpenAI recently solved 10 major problems in mathematics and theoretical computer science. This includes the first construction of a non-sophic group. It raises a fundamental question about the style of AI intelligence. Humans use a certain intuition to prune search trees. AI, on the other hand, seems to excel at a brute force approach. It tries thousands of paths at immense speed until it gets lucky. This makes them particularly good at finding counterexamples. Meta is leaning into this evolution by returning to the open weights arena with Muse Glimmer. This 30 billion parameter model signals that the battle for superintelligence is moving toward a mix of proprietary giants and high-performance open weights. When this kind of intelligence meets the financial layer, the stakes become tangible. We are seeing a pattern of systemic fragility in the crypto space. Harmony recently suffered an exploit where 4 billion ONE tokens were minted out of thin air. That is over 26% of the total supply. Similarly, an XRP bridge lost 200,000 tokens because the software mistook fake deposits for real ones. To counter this, new infrastructure is emerging. Miden is launching USDCX, a privacy-focused stablecoin that lets institutions transact without exposing their entire history. At the same time, Crypto.com is pushing into equities with tokenized derivatives for 1,500 US stocks. The industry is trying to move from chaotic experiments to regulated, private institutional finance. But scaling these systems creates a hidden environmental tax. Research into green AI shows that the training phase is the overwhelming driver of carbon emissions. Interestingly, bigger is not always better. In tests of various architectures, ResNet achieved high accuracy without the massive emissions seen in VGG19. To manage this complexity, Cloudflare has open-sourced Cloudflare OS. It replaces centralized software with sandboxed micro-applications called gadgets. These are managed by gatekeepers that use capability-based security. It is a direct attempt to solve the containment gap by making the sandbox the default. By moving the security to the edge, they hope to stop the runaway agent problem before it starts. Today we have seen a clear through line from the lab to the ledger. We are building models that can solve the deepest problems in mathematics, yet we cannot get a coding agent to read a simple contribution file. We are tokenizing the stock market and creating privacy stablecoins, while simultaneously losing millions to basic bridge flaws. The central theme is that our capability is outstripping our containment. Whether it is carbon emissions or security sandboxes, the industry is finally realizing that the infrastructure must be as sophisticated as the intelligence it hosts. That's all for today. Thanks for listening and see you tomorrow on artgems.ai.